and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we have returned with our next series of the morning. Morning, everyone. Welcome back to ESL Open Cup Americas, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Brazilian Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran representing Mystery Gaming. It is Coffee. Here we go. TvT is upon us again. Now some of the heavier hitters are facing off against each other. Kamikaze has been an up-and-comer in the Latin American region for quite some time. Nowadays, I feel like has more or less plateaued a little bit. It's like when I think of the up-and-coming Latin American players, I think of Master, I think of Yan Ji, I think of... who else do I think of? Neo, of course. Tavito, Tavo. Oh my god, mi papito. And Kamikaze was an up-and-comer for a while as well. Of course, this was back in the COVID era of StarCraft. And it's great to see that Kamikaze is still competing. Great to see that he's still around. And Kamikaze, from my recollection, is a mech enjoyer. He is a bit of a mech enjoyer here, so we might be seeing some mech upon us here in this TvT. I'm curious if he's going to be embracing that. Likewise, Coffee is one of the players to make a deep run. I would say he's one of the favorite players to make it all the way to at least the semifinals, maybe even the grand finals, but at least the semis. Can anyone stop Coffee? Again, he had an insane run last night. Coffee did compete in ESL Open Cup Asia, went all the way to the finals against Solar. He even 2-0'd Showtime on the way to the finals, and Coffee did end up going down, came second last night in ESL Asia, but still had a good showing. Still had a very nice showing here. So we'll see if he can make another finals run, or if we'll have a rematch against Solar in the semis. Until then, oh, it's gonna be a Concussive Shell Marauder build. Okay, Kamikaze. Rushing into the tech lab with that Rax, working towards Concussive Shell and Marauder production. The goal here is to catch out some of these early game units. We'll see if we can as the Reaper Scout is coming in, and Coffee will confirm what's going on. Does run into the Marauder, and we'll get the hell out of there. Whew. Does back off in time, rotating around, and we'll confirm, ooh, the researching tech lab. Concussive Shell not quite done, and the Reaper shouldn't be caught out, but oh my god, we do pull back in time. We do back off, and back at home, it is going to be double gas into CC on the low ground. Factory Widowmine is already on the way. I'm going to be committing to additional Reapers, and we'll see if Coffee can bypass these Marauders and slip into that main base. For now, do see Kamikaze settling into his one base setup. It is going to be a 1-1-1 build. I don't see a second CC. Kamikaze looks like a one base all in. Marauder shot's going to be going off. The boys are being pulled, and we do catch both of these Reapers. Meanwhile, the Reapers are getting full scout. They confirm that there is no command center, that there is a starport on the way. Again, one base all in from Kamikaze. Back at home, Coffee, can we defend? Do you have a Widowmine? Cyclone production is underway. Starport as well. Starport wouldn't help too much, but we are amassing our army. A bunker would be ideal in the low ground to help out with these Marines. And Kamikaze working towards that medevac. Soon going to be pushing out. I'm curious if Kamikaze actually plans on expanding. I mean, we could throw down a CC. It looks like we plan on doing so, but still a very committed opener. Very committed build. So we are soon to move out. What do we have to work with? We have 4 Marauders and 3 Hellions. That's a hefty army. Back at home. Interesting. Okay, we're going for a Viking with that starport. That will help zone away the medevac. We have a tank on the way with that factory. Building up our army. As Kamikaze is moving out. Following this up with Cloak Banshees. Oh my god. Ah. Cloak Banshees on the way. Okay, just very aggressive build here from Kamikaze. Diving into the main base. Coffee will spot this in time. Can get some free shots off. Nothing shoots off. The Viking will shut down the medevac. It's a one-way trip. Medevac will go down. And dragging the army within range of the tank. Tank volleys go off. They shut down the Hellions. Oh, decent target firing there from the Marauder, but alas, we have too much. Cyclone goes down, but we clean up the Marauders. And Coffee just shuts down this opener, shuts down this build, and now we are in some trouble. Kamikaze, he needed to get more done. The Banshee was scattered by the SCV. We see all, we know all. We're getting ready. CC just now finishing up for Kamikaze. Coffee up in workers is aware of the Banshees, and we have a Raven on the way. Okay, the Raven adds so much utility to the army, but will also help out when it comes to dealing with those Banshees, as we have mobile detection. So things taking a rough turn here for Kamikaze. That is a second starport on the way. This looks like a 2-base all-in. There is a build with 2 starports where you mass Vikings, but we have yet to go for the add-on swap. I'm curious, are we going to continue Banshee production? Okay, there we go. I was like, we'll continue Banshees, no, we will not. Go for the add-on swap. Yep, okay. It's going to be a 2-base all-in at Mass Viking. This is a special build. Juanito did popularize this build quite some time ago, was very fond of it. The goal here is to mass Viking into Liberators and to overwhelm your Terran opponent. To overwhelm and snowball out of control. We'll see if we can, as we're making 3 Vikings at a time. Scan reveals! The scan sees everything in the main base, sees the racks floating as well. Coffee should respond, yep, with his own starport. So for those that are curious, if you scout this, the response is your own second starport to catch up in a Viking production. The Banshees do arrive, they take down one of the tanks, not bad. One tank does go down. But again, Coffee already working on a 3rd CC. This still has plenty of tanks, 3 tanks versus the 1 of Kamikaze. Again, the racks is floated, so it is going to be a mech game if the game goes on long enough. I don't expect a 3rd CC from Kamikaze. Does scan, does get eyes on the 3rd base now being taken. And we're getting ready for our push. Getting ready for the all-in. Tanks are unsieging. How many Vikings are we making here? Okay, we have 2, 4, 5, 6. We're going to have 7 Vikings. From here, we should go into Libs. We'll see. As we're just committing to mass Viking. Moving out across the map, Coffee getting to his own Viking production himself with 2 reactors, 4 Vikings at a time. And Coffee responding well to this. We'll get the units tab. Kamikaze still has the Viking lead, but Coffee will have Raven support. Ooh, 1 Viking already goes down. Marines will help, auto turrets as well. Tanks are sieged. Be careful, going for the disables. Okay, we disable the Vikings and we do push forward. Oh, there is thankfully a Cyclone on the ground. We hold our own. Disables are running out. That was a lot of NG spent. A lot of NG spent. So do try to focus on those Vikings. Tanks are under fire. Banshee's going ham. 1 Banshee gets picked off and we're gonna get barely the other. We'll get both Banshees. Did get another tank though. We're gaining ground. But it's going to cost us every single Viking. Down to 1. Yeah, 1 Viking left. Defense advantage a little bit too good. Coffee getting within range, landing his Vikings into the tank. Oh my god. And we clean up the army. Again, Kamikaze, it was a 2-base all-in. There is no 3rd. It's just now on the way. Kamikaze landing the racks in the main. Let's go. Can make some Marines. Scanner reveals the timing of the 3rd base. Coffee is ahead. Up on workers, up on army. Did bleed out a lot of tanks. That was 6 tanks going down. But we have air control. We can see Kamikaze going for a 3rd starport. Armory for upgrades. Gonna try to macro out of this, but it's not gonna be easy. Not for our blue Terran player. Not going to be easy. You know, we could just make him move. The racks is just chilling. Just chileno. Let's go. Have Kamikaze ready to move out. Ready for his own move out. CC being taken, landing on location as Coffee's getting another base, working on his 4th. And Coffee just maintaining his economic lead. Oh, and how many Vikings do we have? 13 against 12. It's going to be all about that air battle. All about the Vikings. +1 air attack on the way for both players. He's on the way. Scanning the main, getting eyes on the 4CC, on the timing. I'm sure Coffee is still feeling quite confident about his position. And here we go, we are moving out. I just love that Coffee just doesn't care about this Rax. It's like, what are you gonna do with it? Nothing. I don't care. It'll be my main. I would just move out. And Coffee's got 20 Vikings to the 16 of Kamikaze. You do have to stack up, but massive anti-armor missile on the army does force the land. Tank's gonna be sieging, big volleys going off. And again, Kamikaze cannot lift. He does lift! Takes to the sky. GG gets called, and Coffee will take game number 1. GG. A solid game 1 there from Coffee. Kamikaze had a cheeky start. If you remember, it was initially a Marauder push. It was a Marauder drop with 4 Marauders, with Hellions as well. Alas, it got completely shut down. And from there, we went for a 2-base all-in with double starport, but everything got scouted again. Just very nice scouting, very nice awareness from Coffee, able to react and respond to everything that Kamikaze was doing. Completely shut him down. GG. GG, well played. And with that, Coffee takes a lead, but it's a best of 3. Best of 3. We have one more game, at least one more game ahead of us to determine how this series does unfold. Whether we go to the ace match or whether we go into the next round. As a reminder, Gref is waiting for the winner of this series. Is going to be Gref. And game 2, Golden Aura. Let's go. We are going to be diving into Golden Aura here. And my eyes, I guess, are going to be on Kamikaze to see what other shenanigans he has in store. Was not the most standard of builds that we saw in game 1. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have our Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player, the red Terran representing Mystery Gaming. It is Coffee. Leading the series 1-0. One more is all he needs to advance on into that next round to face off against the Cannon Rusher Gref. Does he even know who Gref is? Does he understand who he be? Oh, I'm ready. I'm anticipating that next series. But now, we do have our SCV moving out from the side of Kamikaze. It's going to be a standard opener for the time being. Ooh, for the time being, because what is our SCV up to? Where are we headed? Let's go! It's going to be a proxy Rax. Okay, we have a 2-Rax build here from Kamikaze. Should be 2-Rax Reaper. Not the most committed 2-Rax Reaper, as we do keep our first Rax back at home. Does mean that reinforcements are going to take a little bit longer. But Coffee is going for a double gas opener, not going for a Rax expand. So Coffee playing this out safe. Won't be caught with his pants down. We'll have a faster factory. As a result, we'll have a faster Hellion as well. So it's going to be on Coffee to recognize what's going on, to respond, to defend. It does have what it needs to survive this. That's across the map. Coffee slipping in. We'll confirm the Rax. We'll confirm the gases. But there's a little bit more to it. These Reapers are on the way. Again, he's aware that there should be a factory. Like, there's a second gas, there's no expansion, there should be a factory. Something is wrong. Something is up here. And Coffee is checking our linear third base, checking the 4th base location, but doesn't get eyes on the proxy. Not yet. First Reaper's moving out. SCV is going to be shut down. Coffee getting into the high ground, but is going to be forced back. When does Coffee react in time? Oh! We barely don't get eyes on this. Reapers on the way. Coffee getting onto the high ground. Second Reaper in production. CC on the high ground as well, being safe. Reaper does come out. Up. Ooh, KDA charge will connect. We don't get a Reaper. We don't get a kill from either side. Coffee now aware of what's going on. Upon seeing that second Reaper, now he knows it's going to be a 2x Reaper. Pulls back a little bit. Hellion has arrived. With the help of this Hellion, we're fine. We should be okay. I mean, I say we should be. That is 4 Hellions. Sorry, 4 Reapers. But massive Hellion shots going off. 1 Reaper goes down. Ooh, almost another. Yeah, not a bad trade from Kamikaze. Bleeding out 1 Reaper, but getting 2. We have a 2-for-1 trade. Oh, we can see Coffee. He wants to hunt this down. The Reapers are low, and we force the lift. We force the lift. Kamikaze will retreat. And now we expand. Working on our expansion. Coffee CC is that much faster. Already done. Rax floating in as an Overlord. And then Kamikaze will try to find a way into this mineral line to try to find some damage. Doesn't quite commit. Not yet. To threaten that natural base. Okay, we'll be pulling back, getting a KDA charge off. Back at him, Kamikaze working towards tank production. We have the reactor on that smart starport. Could be for Vikings. Yep, there we go. Vikings now on the way. And I'm curious if Kamikaze goes for another second starport and goes for another 2-base all-in. I'm curious. As Coffee does slip into the main base, gets an SCV, gets 1, up! Ooh, not quite the second. Repair is a little bit too good, but we do deny a lot of mining time. Reapers are cleaned up, we get a full scout. Again, just a 1-1-1 setup. Likewise, Coffee. Okay, it's time for Coffee to be the aggressor. This time, he's not going to be the one defending. We have a second starport on the way. This is the same build that Kamikaze attempted in the last game. If you remember, it was after Kamikaze's failed Marauder push where he tried to go for a double starport 2-base all-in. This, though, is Coffee with a much stronger position going into its own double starport 2-base all-in. So this is going to be a bit of a crisper build here from Coffee. We can see Kamikaze rallying everything across the map. Tank getting in position, and we are within range of the reactor. Ooh, but Coffee gets extra hits in. Yeah, we have to back off. So at least get the lock-on. Very nice. Lock-on does soften up one of those Vikings. We can pull the boys. We can repair. Across the map, Hellion. It does make its way into the mineral line. And will distract Kamikaze. Likewise, Kamikaze has not seen the second starport. He doesn't know how committed Coffee is. Kazi is in the dark. And I'm getting a little bit concerned for our blue Terran player here. Remember, when Kamikaze tried to do this build in game 1, Coffee was so quick to scout and he responded with his own second starport. That is not the case this time. But a second starport is still on the way. Again, it was just now thrown down. Scan will reveal it. Coffee now aware. So we should know that he has that Viking advantage. There's 2 more Vikings on the way. Ooh. Let's catch out a couple of Vikings. Cyclone barely out of range. Auto target thrown down. Yeah, we're breaking out. We're breaking through. Coffee wins the battle in the sky. And with that, he can chase down these tanks as he lands. Auto turret as well. And 2 tanks go down. Massive pickoffs. Coffee is pushing. Behind this, we have a 3rd TC on the way, so Coffee expanding on location. Still moving out. Kamikaze does have the high ground. Oh, we face check. Big tank volley going up. But we break through nonetheless. We clean up the tank. We clean up the Viking. Did cost us a Raven. We're pushing a piece of the tank. I did. Dragging it across the ground. As Coffee has arrived. Do you have a tank with the high ground? Thankfully. Do you have that tank? But what about the natural? Boys are being pulled into Vikings. You hate to see it. We try to land. We take down one of the tanks. We take down the second. But it's going to cost us so much. Too much. So 11 SCVs go down. And Coffee is going for the kill. Oh, trying to at least. Vikings did take a lot of damage. But again, they can just bully Kamikaze back. It's going to be 3v3, and we are still on. Yeah, we still have that Viking lead. Just came in the production. GG gets called. Well played. And Coffee will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Coffee will take the series 2-0, advancing on into the next round. A shout out to Kamikaze as he did pose a threat. As we casted it. As he did pose a threat, and you know, did hold his own for a time there, but Coffee did shut him down, and in the end, Coffee will advance on to face off against his next opponent, to face off against Graf. Let's go.